Have you noticed that many people struggle when it comes to managing money? It happens to the best of us. We set a budget, try to save, and then the end of the month comes and we're back in the red. But this time, we are here to fix just that for you right now. Welcome to Fix Your Finances. If you want to build your financial wealth and fill your mind with the right information, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for us to provide you with more valuable content. So without any further ado, let us discuss money, shall we? Life is much easier when you have good financial skills. How you spend your money impacts your credit score and the amount of debt you end up carrying if you're struggling with money management issues such as living paycheck to paycheck despite making more than enough money. The key to budgeting is sticking to a basic rule: spend less than you earn. It's actually a lot more than that, so let us discuss the ways to create a budget in detail now, shall we? Step number 1. Mindset. Mastering your money was never about just making the math work out. It's always been about adjusting your mindset. If you think too much about the lack of your money, we call that thinking in scarcity. With such a mindset, you believe that your resources are limited and that you never have enough. A wiser mindset to adapt is the mindset of abundance. If you live in abundance, you know there will always be enough for everyone. What you need is the right mindset and the skills to make and keep more money. The amount of money you can make is limitless once you learn how to make, keep, and multiply your money. Step number 2. Knowledge about your source of income. One of the key aspects of the budget making process is to create a monthly average of your expense. Now you have to compare this with your income from your income sources for a month. If your income is in the form of a regular paycheck where your taxes are automatically deducted, then using the net income or take-home pay amount is fine. If you are self-employed or have outside sources of income such as child support or social security, include these as well. Record this in total income as a monthly amount. If you have a variable income, for example, from a seasonal or freelance job, consider using the income from your lowest earning month in the past year as your baseline income when you set up your budget. Step number 3. Creating a list of monthly expenses. Having a clear picture of your monthly expenses helps you to make better financial decisions. This list can include mortgage payments or rent, car payments, insurance, groceries, utilities, entertainment, personal care, child care, eating out, transportation costs, travel, student loans, and so on. You can use bank statements, receipts, and credit card statements from the last 3 months to identify all your spending. Step number 4. Determining variable and fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are those mandatory expenses that you pay the same amount every time. As far as fixed expenses are concerned, you should include items like mortgage or rent payments, car payments, set fee internet service, trash pickup, and regular childcare. If you pay a standard credit card payment, include that amount and any other essential spending that tends to stay the same from month to month. Variable expenses are those expenses that would change from month to month, like groceries, gasoline, entertainment, eating out, gifts, etc. And also, if you plan to save a fixed amount or pay off a certain amount of debt each month, also include savings and debt repayment as fixed expenses. Start assigning a spending value to each category that we mentioned, and you have to begin with your fixed expenses. Then, estimate how much you'll need to spend per month on variable expenses. Reviewing your previous credit card transaction details or bank transactions will definitely help you make a rough estimate on how much you spend. Step 5. Comparing your monthly income with your expenses. Here is a good piece of good news for you. If your income is higher than your expenses, then you're off to a great start. This extra money that you have can help you build your budget better and also can help you set up a retirement fund or even pay off your debts, if any. If you have more income than expenses, consider adopting the 50-30-20 budgeting philosophy. Senator Elizabeth Warren popularized the 50-20-30 budget rule, sometimes labeled 50-30-20, in her book, All You're Worth: The Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan, originally published in 2005. In a 50-30-20 budget, needs or essential expenses should represent half of your budget, wants should make up another 30%, and savings and debt repayment should make up the final 20% of your budget. Needs are what you can't live without, or at least very easily. They include things like rent, groceries, utilities, such as electricity, water, and sewer. The next 30% of your income should be for your wants. Wants are what you desire but don't actually need to survive. They might include your hobbies, your vacations, dining out, digital and streaming services like Netflix and Hulu. And finally, the remaining 20% of your income should be for your financial goals. This category includes all your savings, such as your retirement funds, saving up for a house, and even your debt payments. Figuring out your finances is confusing, and it's often hard to know where to start. That's one reason the 50-30-20 rule of thumb works so well. It's an easy way to get a handle on something that can otherwise be intimidating. The 50-30-20 rule of thumb isn't the only game in town. There are a few other budgeting techniques that might work better for you, like the 80-20 rule. With this method, you immediately set aside 20% of your income into savings. The other 80% is yours to spend on whatever you want, no tracking involved. The other one is the 70-20-10 rule. This rule is similar to the 50-30-20 rule of thumb, but you instead parse out your budget as follows: 70% to living expenses, 20% to debt payments, and 10% to savings. Step number 6, making adjustments to expenses. If your expenses are more than your income, that means you are overspending and need to make some changes. If you are in such a situation, then you have to find areas in your variable expenses to cut them out. Look out for areas where you can reduce your spending, like eating out at a cheaper place or eliminating your unused gym memberships and streaming service subscriptions. Now, there are times when your expenses are far above your income or you have significant debt, and reducing your variable expenses may not be enough. So, you may need to trim your fixed expenses and increase your income and balance your budget. Your primary aim is to have your income and expense columns to be equal. This equal balance means all of your income is accounted for and budgeted towards a specific expense or savings goal. Now, if you are done with all the 6 steps we mentioned here, you must monitor and continue to track your expenses in each category, ideally every day of the month. Using some sort of budgeting spreadsheet or app can also record your overall income and expenses too. Recording what you spend throughout the month will keep you from overspending and help you identify unnecessary expenses or problematic spending patterns. Take a few minutes each day to record your expenses rather than putting them off until the end of the month. Pay with a credit card only if you will have the money to pay it off at the end of the month. Otherwise, you will owe interest on top of the price of whatever you bought. Once your expenses are lower than your income, budget towards saving goals before you increase your spending. It is also very important to take your time to learn other financial skills to improve your financial literacy and make your money work harder for you. Life is unpredictable, so try to review your budget and your spending if there's a chance, or at least every couple of months. Hey, you might even get a pay raise soon, which means you can save more money, or you might find that your household bills increase. If you have loans or owe money on credit cards, it usually makes sense to pay off the debt that charges the highest rate of interest first. It's easy to feel overwhelmed if you know you're struggling financially. It's tempting to bury your head in the sand and ignore your bank statements and demands for payment, but it won't make the problem any better and could make it worse. The bottom line is, yes, saving is difficult and life often throws unexpected expenses at us. By following the 50-20-30 rule combined with the other steps we mentioned before, you too can have a plan on how you should manage your after-tax income. If you find out that your expenditures on wants are more than 20%, you can always find ways to reduce those expenses that will help direct funds to more important areas such as emergency money and retirement. Life should be enjoyed, and it is not recommended to live like a Spartan, but having a plan and sticking to it will allow you to cover your expenses, save for retirement, all at the same time doing activities that make you happy. With that being said, we have come to the end of the video. Let us know in the comments below what easy way you know to help create a budget. And make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at FixYourFinances_. See you next time at Fix Your Finances.